Hey Taco Ballers, it's summer. You know what that means. If you're still in college, then I'm willing to bet that at least 10 of you have entered the summer with the mindset of getting fucking ripped so that when you go back to school, you can mog everyone. And probably 4 of you have been doing just that, bravo. But maybe 2 of you guys are doing it with proper nutrition. So for the other 8 of you, this video is for you. So here's the deal. Summer is a time of opportunity. So I figured, why not this summer try and get jacked again? And you know what? Why not share it with you guys? In this video, we will be laying the ground for all the shit that will come in the later videos in this series. Because in all my years of going to the gym, my biggest regret and mistake was not having a good knowledgeable foundation to stack muscle onto. You can go much farther by knowing what the hell you're doing. Spoiler alert, I'm not an MLA approved source. I'm not an exercise scientist. My knowledge, just like most other lifters, is made up of a mix of YouTube informational videos, advice from friends, maybe some short form fitness brain rot, and the personal experience that I've been gaining since high school. So if you want to correct me on anything, please do, because it will help me make my brain big and round, and also it's good for engagement. A lot of the shit that I'm going to be saying in this series might be very obvious if you are a seasoned gym goer, but there are people out there who probably don't know this shit, so I'm going to explain it. In college, due to hacking my homework assignments for the first 3 years of my life in higher education, I had a disgusting amount of free time that I used to A, conceive this channel, B, stay up and 3, exploit my newly gained freshman 15 and get moderately ripped in the gym. But in my final year of college, due to a myriad of personal and professional reasons, I neglected to keep my asshole tight, and all the progress I had gained in the first 3 years leaked out of my gaping hole made weak from my lack of discipline. So currently my physique looks like if Tom Holland and Timothy Chalamet fused together, but they only kept the less favorable traits. So instead of being tall and ripped, I'm Tom Holland short and Chalamet jack. You know what? I think that's a perfect starting pad and an opportunity to better prove what someone can accomplish within a few short months. Let's get started. But before we get into that, there is one aspect of working out that I see a lot of people neglect, and that's cardio. Now, if you have a home gym the way that I do, sometimes it might be difficult to remember to get that cardio in after workout. And even if you do remember, sometimes I don't want to just go outside just for 15 minutes of cardio. But that's why I'm proud to show you guys the sponsor for today's video, Yesil Fitness. Now, I've been in the market for a treadmill for a while simply because it's a great addition to your home gym. But the issue is a lot of treadmills really make you pay out of the ass for a unit. Yesil offers a variety of options that are not only affordable, but honestly really great to use. The treadmill that Yesil sent me is called the T3S Plus. And not only does it come with all your standard treadmill adjustable like buttons and stuff, it also features a 10% auto incline, an immersive 21.5-inch 1080p screen, all-encompassing sound with a Bluetooth connection. Additionally, you can connect a device to screencast straight to it. And in addition, if you would like to store it, you can just fold it up and tuck it away in a corner. But honestly, I'm not tucking this thing anytime away soon. I've been using it and it's really good. And as an added bonus, it's actually very quiet compared to like treadmills that I've used at the gym. So that's also a huge plus, especially because it's in, my house. Also, if you're someone who cares about this kind of thing, but it literally took me like half an hour to put together. And great for giving me that little 15-minute cardio after each workout, especially because I just started getting back into it. So that being said, Yesil is great. They're affordable. Their stuff works really well. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. And especially for our purposes, if you're somebody who's also going to be going through a summer arc with me, this is a great option to have besides some home dumbbells if you can't go to a gym every day. So that being said, take my word for it. I think it's a really good treadmill and I'll definitely be using it for a long time to come. You're going down in the description, click that link and you can browse their selection of high quality units and take the next step to upgrading your home gym. Thanks again to Yesil for sponsoring the video. Let's get back to teaching you guys about nutrition. Alrighty, we're gonna start with a simple concept here. I make a lot of fashion videos on this channel. Students who pay close attention will know that one of the philosophies I strongly advocate for is dressing for your body type and not against it. This concept, wouldn't you know it, meshes beautifully with today's topic. Different body types are going to have different results when you go to the gym. If any of you know a big bald man on the internet named Renaissance Periodization, Mr. Periodization has a video where he goes more in depth with this idea more than I am qualified or willing to go. But to summarize some of his important points for our chud purposes, your progress from going to the gym will trend towards what your body is predisposed to do. Sylvias are good for racing, not construction. Iluxes are good for pulling heavy shit, not drag racing. If you've historically had a lot of body fat, it might be harder for you to lose it compared to someone who's been lean and twiggy their whole life. If it's historically hard for you to stack muscle, then maybe it'll take a bit more elbow grease for you to get that Dorito shape. Some of you guys would excel at long distance cardio. Some of you guys might be better optimized for sprinting. For example, for me, being a smaller guy, my genetics also prevent prevent me from pushing disgusting powerlifter steamroller levels of weight without crushing my spine and my wrists, so I don't do that. So I'm sorry to say, we really don't have much control over our genetics, no matter how much we cry on Twitter about it and how much we want it to change. But that doesn't mean it means nothing. Not everyone can be Arnold. I certainly can't, but I can put in the work, and that is what is in our control. All right, now let's get into the most important foundational concept that I was missing for the better part of 5 years, and that is nutrition. And spoiler alert, it's actually not complicated at all. There's legit like 3 concepts that you have to remember for nutrition. Now, I'm gonna put a disclaimer here. If you are prone to eating disorders or overly obsessing over your intake, maybe just skip this video and wait until I get pressured by another ad to make another video. Concept 1, for weight management, deficit and surplus are technically all you need. This is basically just thermodynamics. Everyone has a special number called their maintenance. Your maintenance is dependent on a variety of factors, such as how much you weigh and how much time you spend jerking your worm or any other physical activity. For example, my maintenance is about 20. The rule of weight management is very simple. If you want to gain weight, you eat above your maintenance. And if you want to lose weight, you eat below your maintenance every day. That's it. That's the most important rule. That's literally just the basics of gym nutrition. Here's another video from Mr. Periodization where he talks more about it. But Taka, what about keto and diets and cutting carbs and healthy food versus American slot? Well, yes, you can tack those concepts on top of your daily intake, but at the end of the day, whatever gets put in your mouth that's safe to put in your mouth, that's edible, will more or less be turned into energy for you to move your human feet around. If you are in the apocalypse and you find an excess supply of cereal in someone's house and you have nothing else to eat, you will survive just eating off that cereal. If you have enough cereal, you can even gain weight or lose weight as long as you eat relative to your maintenance. That being said, the type of cereal still matters. I saw a video once on YouTube where a US Marine explained how to eat when you're on deployment. He made it clear that there are not a lot of options out there, and his methods were definitely more survivalist than gourmet, but even he prioritized hitting the big 3: carbs, proteins, and fats. And honestly, after he broke it down, I believe with 100% certainty that he was eating healthier out there in the field than most Americans on a daily basis. So that's concept 2, the big 3, your macros. I'm not a scientist and I don't know exactly how it works, but this is how I see macros. Carbs are great for short-term energy. This is why when I was in high school doing mountain biking before a big race, they would have us eat a lot of carbs the night before. Fats are great for long-term energy and storage. And proteins are what maintain and build muscle. This is why you eat protein after each workout. I think the window is like 2 hours or something. So if you want to make good progress in the gym, instead of just throwing yourself at it like an idiot, you need to be hitting the right amount of all these 3 in addition to making sure you're eating the right amount of calories. Protein, it's recommended to eat at least 1 pound. What the hell? Well, not one. For protein, it's recommended that you eat 1 gram per pound of body weight every day, especially if you're focusing on building and maintaining muscle. Now, here's the thing. This is a lot to keep track of. Unless you're heavily autistic or something, there's no way that you can keep track of all the calories and keep track of 3 sets of grams. So here's what you're gonna use. There's an app on the App Store called Macros. It looks like a white apple on an orange background. I'm not sponsored by that, but it's the best app I've found ever for keeping track of your macros and shit. The way it works is that you enter your information and it will calculate your maintenance for you. It will give you a daily amount of calories and macros to hit. Now, here's the best part about the app. They have a dictionary of literally every food that exists. I'm not even joking. You can look up the macros for a single pack of Chick-fil-A chicken sauce or whatever the hell they call it. If you have a Taco Bell order that you eat regularly, you can find the exact items they have within their dictionary and come back to them if you eat them repeatedly. They also do recipes. For example, there's a dog shit slop smoothie that I drink pretty much every day, and I have just entered that as a recipe. So instead of having to input every single little ingredient, I can just say dog shit smoothie and it will add dog shit smoothie to my daily intake. Of course, you have to be diligent. You have to be logging what you eat, especially if you have a weight goal. This was the only way I was ever able to reach my weight goals. All right, now we're going to talk about the 3rd concept. It's a very brief one, which is that feeling good is much better than feeling like shit when it comes to nutrition. While I can technically reach my macros with 2 dog shit smoothies, a whole loaf of bread, and a Popeyes combo, this is not the best way to do it. Because even if the first concept we talked about is true, even if all of it, regardless of what I eat, whether it's 70 donuts or a whole chocolate cake, even if it's all gonna get converted into energy one way or another, I know for a fact that I'm gonna feel like shit. And my shits will also feel like shit. So, eat stuff that comes off of a plant, preferably while it's still a plant. Eat animals, especially lean animals like chicken and beef. Eat good carbs like rice and whole grain bread instead of cake. And fucking drink water. So, could you get ripped off of Popeye's combos and chocolate cake? Yeah, you definitely can. Is that the best way to do it? Yeah, I'll make that up to you. How about that? Well, let's do that. Just eat however you're comfortable, and as long as you're, So that's it for summer art groundwork. Number 1, have realistic expectations regarding nutrition. Number 1, calories in and calories out. It's all fuel. Eat relative to your maintenance and activity level. Number 2, make sure you hit your 3 macros: protein, carbohydrates, and fats. You need all of them. And finally, number 3, don't eat like you have unlimited time left on this earth. Your body is a temple, and even if it's not a temple, it's at the very least a pretty nice mid-size apartment. The next video will talk about weights or some shit. I don't know. Have a marvelous
Tuesday.
Buy the treadmill. It's genuinely good.